Hello survivors, welcome back into the unknown once again. So this will be the second time I'm making a video about Helldivers issue fixes. If you're having issues with crashes and stuff, try the other video I made about Helldivers 2. Now in this one, I did some research by changing some settings in the game and trying different methods, and I finally achieved a more stable FPS during the matches. So without wasting much time, I'm gonna show the things I did. So first of all, in game, go to the options and make sure you have all of your settings like set for your comfort zone. Basically whatever options you use, do it right now, because after you do the tweaks you won't be able to change the settings. If you change the settings, or everything will get resetted. So like for example, changing your audio settings or graphics, if you want more FPS, I recommend you follow this pattern. The texture quality, ambient occlusion, and space screen gold illumination are GPU bounded, so it's not gonna cause much problem. If you have a powerful GPU, you can keep this on and ultra. If you have a low power GPU, lower this down. After changing all of your settings and controls, everything, exit the game, and I'll show you some process or some steps you can use to make your game run more stable. In order to do these changes, you have to go to users, your computer's name, app data, roaming, arrowhead, and Helldivers 2. You'll see this file over here, user settings.config. Copy this file, make a backup somewhere else. I made one backup here on the desktop. So you can, in case you mess something up, you will be able to just replace this with the backup file, and it should be back to the previous settings. So after you're done with that, right click on it and go to open with notepad. Now here are some things you have to change. I will show you a demonstration. Let's open the backup file, and this is my so this is the actual game settings, and in this side I have the modified settings. So only change the things I have changed. For example, this light follow bias, you can turn off post effects enabled, set it to false, but it doesn't really do much. Cube map from 4 to 1, this thing's false. Motion blur false, of course. Why would you turn it on? Garbage thing. Like, try to copy all of these things. This cube map will go to 2. And here I have changed these things. I think I didn't touch. They're all same. G buffer, LOD. Okay, the static slice, it should be set to 2. The speed tree grass shadow LOD set to 0. And I think that's about it. And you have to change cube map volumetric clouds set to 2. Then go to the next section. If you have anti-aliasing on, it's gonna set itself to true. If you have turned the anti-aliasing off inside game, it will probably be on false. So you don't need to change this thing. The sun shadows and sun flares enabled, set both of them to false. What else? The light cull, I think, set it to 1. sun shadow map filter quality. In this inside this quotation, type lowest instead of medium. And what else did I change? Particles, local lighting. Oh, these are very intensive. Set it to false. Anything related to particles is heavily intensive. Far fog enabled. I think it's already off, so it doesn't really matter. What else did I change? I think IMP tile size. No, don't touch that. Light shadows. I think we don't really need to change anything else over here. Go to the next section. In here, wind enabled. I don't know what it does, but I don't think it's gonna make much difference. Local lights, set it to medium. The cube map resolution. Now, I set this to 32. If you set it too low, the whole map kind of looks blurry. Not blurry, but it will look like the whole map is foggy. Your render distance will be like very close to you. You will not be able to see anything. So I recommend set it to 32, half the value. You will still be able to see a lot far away in the clear maps, but you don't really need to see further than that. No one shoots a kilometer away with anything mostly, so I mean the guns probably doesn't even have that much range. In this one, local lights, you can turn this on false. I don't know why I have this turned on, but it's not causing me any problems, so maybe you can try keeping it on true. Local lights, I think that's probably those are small lamps or something. I don't know. Never tried turning that off. Lighting and material quality. Where is it? Lighting and material quality, set it to 0. Minimum object contribution scale. Okay, never mind. These things are 1. False. Particle quality 0. Of course. Color grading is not needed. Particles tessellation. Set it to false. This thing is very intensive. Render resolution done. You don't need to touch it. That's the render. That's the resolution you have set inside. Basically, this is the super sampling on. And on the next one, I think I haven't changed anything from here. No. Here, I think also the same. Probably doesn't need to change anything. These are like, oh, the cube map. Sorry. The cube map MIP level, set it to 1 instead of 4. In here, there's a lot of things, so check carefully what I changed. I have async compute on in the game settings, so that's why it's true. And also I have SSAO turned on in the game. That's why it's 1. If you turn it off, in game, it will show 0, and this will show false. FXA false. Don't need that. Space quality, blah blah blah. I think everything is similar. This should be on false. State game. This is true. Set it to false. The sharpening, don't need to touch it. If you kept sharpening on in the game, it will be set here. Some people use sharpening, some people don't. That's personal preference. But don't change the values from here. Do it before you change all. Do it before you touch this areas. Before you touch the config files. Okay. Far scattered. You have to set it on false. You don't really need like far away things scattering, etc. You're not gonna even pay attention to that far away. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. POV is FOV is up to you. Doesn't really resolution, don't touch it. As I said, it's depends on what settings you have inside the game. And now what you do is file, save the file. I've already saved it, so I'm not gonna do it again. And then before starting the game, right click on it, go to properties, turn on read only. If you don't turn it on and start the game, all of the things you manually changed in this file will just get resetted. So turn it on. That's why I said that you have to set all of these options beforehand, and you will not be able to change anything. So if you set it on read only, press OK, change anything in the game, and it will not affect this file. You will not be able to change anything. Now the next step is if you're using an RTX card GPU, Nvidia RTX GPU, and if you have very late build of Windows 10, not the early builds, but the later builds of Windows 10, or if you're using Windows 11, you can turn these settings on. Go to settings, go to display, graphics, change default graphics settings, and turn hardware accelerated GPU scaling on. What it does is it actually tries to lower your CPU's load and transfer it into your GPU. This one can be a little bit buggy in Windows 10. I've used it on Windows 10. It was kind of, caused small stutters or something. But I've tested it in Windows 11. It's working very smooth. So you can use it on Windows 11 without any problem for every game. Now I'll show you one software you have to download, and it is kind of complicated. So this one is a bit advanced. So if you're not comfortable with it, don't download or use it, because if you like set wrong things, it can cause a bit problem. So this is called Process Lasso. Just type Process Lasso. This will be the link, and you just download it from here. For Windows 64-bit, I mean, I don't think anyone uses have a 32-bit processor these days, but use whatever applicable. Then install it, and when you start this program up, it's a free version. You don't need to pay for it, but just whenever it starts, it's gonna show this. Press continue, go here, and wait, we need to have the game turned on for this thing to work. Okay, so after you open the game, just Alt tab and open Process Lasso like this. Here, sort the list by CPU percentage. Now you'll see this Helldivers 2 probably at top of the list. Go to here, CPU priority, go to always and set high. So whenever you run Helldivers 2, it will always run with high processing power. Do not ever set real time. It's gonna crash your PC most of the time. Do not do it. Just set it to high. It's good enough, and you will have smoother experience. And also, you have to have Process Lasso running on the background for this to actually work. Keep it as start with Windows. It doesn't really affect anything. It's a very light application. And the next two things is this game guard thingy. It's really hard to keep them like steady. I usually go by the CPU percentage, but it can change. Okay, there you go. Go to the user, and it sorts out in the system tab. So you see both of these game monitor thingies. Those two are game guard, the anti-cheat program which Helldivers uses. Go into both of them, right click on them, set priority always and set it to idle for both of them. And also go to CPU affinity, go to always, first disable SMT, and then uncheck every CPU except only one even number, the last CPU even number. For example, if you have like 12, if you have more like 12, 13, set 12. I have up to 11, so I set 10. And that's it in this one. After starting the game guard will use a little bit more CPU for like about a minute or so. That you cannot stop that one. But after that, it doesn't really use CPU too much, at least not in my gameplay testing period. So the game runs very smoothly, and in my processor, before I used to have around 80% CPU usage with my current settings. Right now, I'm getting maximum like 73, 75, but usually it's run in like 60s. Now, there is this final step which will help you in basically every game, not only Helldivers too. So, what you have to do is open your Nvidia control panel. I don't know how it works in AMD. I never used an AMD GPU, so I cannot help you with that. But the control panel should have similar options, so you can just set it similar as it's shown here. I mean, the terms should be similar. So in Nvidia control panel, go to manage 3D settings. Oh, by the way, before that, it's only applicable, I think, for Nvidia control panels. Just set this PhysX to your GPU and not CPU. Suppose if you don't have a powerful GPU, set it to auto select. But if you have a very good powerful GPU, then keep it on this one. It only works in certain games, but I don't know if it works in Helldivers, so I just set it here anyway. But the main thing is go to manage 3D settings, go to program settings, click on add. So if you played the game recently, it should show up here. If it doesn't, you can manually add it. Just go to the place where your game is installed. Mine is on D. So in the Steam library, Steam Apps Common, Helldivers 2, and it's under bin. So this file. Click on it, press open, and it would open the it will get add in this list. Now turn off this image scaling thingy, anisotropic, FXA. If it's on, just turn it off. If it's already off, then it's fine. Anti-aliasing mode, set it on off. You can set a background frame rate. I just do it because it just sets the background applications on lower frame rate, but you can keep it off also. It doesn't really matter. It depends on personal preference. Low latency mode, keep it off. You don't really need NVIDIA Reflex in this one. Now max frame rate, my CPU is Ryzen 3600, which is not a crazy powerful CPU. If you have a better CPU, you can turn it up, but I recommend capping the FPS by your GPU's control panel. I use 60 FPS and it's very stable at 60 FPS. You can try a bit higher and see if your system can handle it. If it doesn't, you can always play on 60 FPS. And keep this MFA off. This thing's on auto. That's OpenGL. It's not even applicable in here. Power management, set maximum. Prefer maximum performance. And this thing. The texture filtering quality, set it on high performance. which will make this thing on and which will automatically set this thing on and to linear optimization on, and negative LOD bias on allow. Then thread optimization, set it to auto, which and then the Vulkan OpenGL doesn't matter in this game. Vertical sync, keep it on off. Triple buffering, keep it on off. These are the settings you should do to get much more stable performance in this game. Now, these are the methods I'm using to have a stable Helldivers 2 experience. This Nvidia control panel thing, you can use it on any modern games and they will buff your FPS by quite a lot. And this thing doesn't really lower your picture quality by that much. It's very, it's not noticeable. It's very little. So try these methods and see if it helps you, and let me know in the comment section. And I hope you have a much more stable gameplay like I'm having past 3-4 days. So if it works for you, let me know. Drop a like on the video and also drop a subscribe to the channel, and check out my other contents, other gameplay contents. I play other survival, horror, etc., story mode games. Hope this thing helps, and I'll see you on my next video. So take care and see ya.